Fellas, AC here. Welcome to another review, and this time it's a YouTube exclusive of a fragrance which has really knocked me for a six. The fragrance is from a house which I've recently spoken about. It's called My Perfumes and they're based out of UAE, and these guys are producing some amazing stuff. Not so long ago I did a YouTube exclusive of this fragrance called Oud Alail. This is their budget fragrance from the Arabian line. A lot of people after watching my review went and bought this fragrance, and they came back and said they were completely bowled over by the composition and the performance. This thing is nuclear. It's so strong that some people just told me that I should have given them a disclaimer. I did. You missed it. This is a nuclear strength fragrance. In fact, I can smell it from here. This was oak moss, rose, musk, woody fragrance. Very similar to Tom Ford's Arabian wood. Now, let's start with My Select. Now, My Select from My Perfumes is basically, or is it My Select or Select? My Perfumes Select is the line which is their niche line. This is an extrait concentration fragrance. Yeah, it's My Perfumes Select. So, here's the packaging. I'm showing you the packaging. I don't care much about packaging, but this one is special. Just look at the packaging. Yeah. This is the packaging. Brilliant, isn't it? When you get a fragrance packaged like that, it's all fox leather, I think, your expectation automatically goes up. This is the bottle. Absolutely fantastic bottle. The bottle design itself is impressive. The cap is heavy golden, very, very strong. You can use this as a weapon. Man, this fragrance, I have a serious soft spot for this fragrance. I've already got it dry down, so I'm going to spray one because I want to show you the atomizer. If you haven't already seen me do that in a previous video. Look at the atomizer. It's just unbelievable value. My God. The moment you smell this fragrance, the very first spray, you'll become a fan. Because it's so unusual, so sort of unique, and my God, this basically this oozes sex appeal. This fragrance is so glamorous, as if you are heading out to a party. This is how it smells, you know. Wow. Now, this does a thing which I'm a big fan of. So this is more like a woody, fruity, boozy, powdery opening. Now, I've reviewed a fragrance before. That was also a YouTube exclusive. It was called Cashmere by Arabian Oud. I'll leave a link to the review of this fragrance at the end of this, because this is again one of those fragrances, you can see by the usage, one of those fragrances that leaves you speechless. Such a fine fragrance this is. Middle Eastern oud, who says? This is proper, Western style oud. Amazing. I mean, Cashmere is unbeatable. So is this one. So, let's start. So when you first spray this fragrance, you will get a very dark, rich rose. And that's what adds to the glamour. Because along with that rose is tonka, which is quite powdery, you know. I think this vanilla that you're smelling here, the boozy vanilla, very powdery. Not very powdery, but powdery. That's why the fragrance is called powdery. And this is probably the most understating name, if you like. Excuse me. I've never come across such an amazing fragrance called so the name is so nuanced. Powdery. Could be something else. Definitely something else. Wow. The fragrance also has a very soapy, boozy sort of nature, soapiness, you know, and it's very dry and airy. Extremely dry. Let me keep the hand away because it's very strong. One spray is killing me at the moment. So that soapiness comes from vetiver, and it's very airy as well. So it's like, you know, something that you're wearing which is very strong but very airy, not like the Middle Eastern thick fragrances. No. This is very airy and very strong. So the middle stages, it happens in about half an hour, 45 minutes. The middle stages brings in soapy, dry vetiver, extremely dry, and musk. Clean vetiver musk combined with tonka and rose, rich rose. The fragrance is just amazing with fantastic boozy vanilla. Vanilla never leaves the fragrance. So the powdery vanilla is why I think the fragrance is called powdery. And then in the late dry down, after about 3 hours, I was shocked with this. I smell the most fabulous sandalwood, amazing sandalwood, like sawdusty, as airy, sawdusty, nothing cloying about this. So that sandalwood just, was, what are you talking about? So there are notes like rose, rich rose, powdery vanilla, vetiver, soapy dry vetiver, tonka, some fruity booziness, and that's peach, I suppose. Peachy smell, peach-like smell. That's the middle is all about balancing the base of musk and sandalwood with that rich rose. The base is what is doing the counterbalancing, and it's what's such a clever base. So the dry down is all about sandalwood, dry, powdery vanilla, soapy vetiver, rich rose but tamed down. Just what a celebration. It's a celebration of notes. Absolutely stunning. So ups and downs. Number one upside, uniqueness. I've not smelled anything which smells like this. Number two, the composition quality. This is an extrait. It has all these heavy notes. It behaves like an extrait. It works like an elixir. And, dare I say, it works like a creed should work. That's kind of airy brightness about it. It's very luminous bright. That's why I showed you this. This fragrance stunned me because the notes here, it's an oud fragrance and so airy and dry and light, not cloying sort of fragrance. So number three, compliment factor, massive. This fragrance will get you noticed. This is lockdown time. I was queuing in the post office about a month ago. Very, very cold December. We've had a very cold December. And the guy at the post office, it's a big post office. So, the queue goes like an S sometimes. So obviously I was in the queue. So guys in front of me smelled me. But the guy at the post office knows me. He's a good friend of mine. And when he smelled me through the window, he said, "My God, you smell amazing today. Where are you heading?" I said, "Nowhere, not in this lockdown." He says, "Oh, you smell amazing." And he was so wholehearted about the compliment. He never compliments me, but that day he was just bowled over. This has got stunning knockout power, to knock you out with its grace and glamour at the same time. It's very graceful, it's very elegant and glamorous at the same time. Just what a fine creation this is. So those are three upsides. Maybe fourth would be the value for money. So this is an extrait concentration. It comes for 840 AED, UAE dirhams. I converted it to pounds, 160, and 160 plus postage and packaging will cost you about 200 pounds for 100 ml extrait. Serious value for money. You'll not get a better smelling fragrance with this kind of performance. The fifth has to be the performance. The fragrance has nuclear projection. That's why this fragrance would be amazing for clubbing or when you want to really impress people. One spray is making me difficult for me to speak. So that's how strong the projection is initially. I'll talk about projection a little later. So downsides. Number one downside has to be the availability. It's so difficult to get hold of here in the UK. I'll put a link in the description of this video. That link will take you to the UAE website and you can order from there. I was sent this bottle, so I didn't have to go through the pain. After me praising this fragrance so highly, most of you guys will be very disappointed with the fact that it's really hard to get hold of, and that's the only downside. The other downside is the wearability and the season. See, I got this in late summer. I tried it then. It smelled twice as nice as how it smells now. When I smelled it in September, when I was doing the house focus video, I was bowled over. I'm still bowled over. But I can remember this smelled much better when the weather was in between. It's very cold at the moment, almost freezing. The ground's frozen, solid. So it's really cold. So I don't think this will work in extreme cold weather. It's working when I go out, doesn't project as much as it did in September, October. So that's the other downside, if you like. This smells best when it's in between weather. All the notes come out and it's more gorgeous and glamorous. So, occasions, party. This thing is a clubber's delight. If you are a clubber, if you're into dating scene, and if you want to really impress the opposite sex, my God, you have to go for this. This has to be in your armory. This is basically a Casanova signature scent. This thing will knock anybody out of the park, any woman. Yeah, dress properly. You have to really dress properly. It is very elegant and sexy at the same time. So you have to dress. You have to make an effort. So age groups, I would say this is 25 plus. You know, any age group upwards, 25 plus, even 20 plus. But the notes are such. You know, the powdery vanilla, the rich rose, the sandalwood, make it a little bit gravitas-like note. You have to have a little bit of personality. 25 plus. I think I've covered all aspects, you know. Value for money is covered. Let's talk about projection or performance. Projection is immense, yeah, as you can see. But after 2 hours, it really goes whoop into a skin scent. Really, really. Not in hot weather or in between weather, in cold weather now. It becomes a skin scent. And I was quite disappointed by it because when I wore it in September, I was delighted for hours and it kept becoming stronger and stronger. But in cold weather, it seems to go into a skin scent in about 1.5 to 2 hours. So that could be one factor which might disappoint you if you live in a cold country. That's the only thing I can think of, which is why I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. One of the most top-notch fragrances I've smelled in recent times. And I'm saying this with 100% honesty. One of the best fragrances I've smelled in recent time, last year especially. And I'm really proud to do a YouTube exclusive. If you really like the video, give it a like and do get this fragrance if you can. Take care. Bye-bye.